I'm Margaret Hell reporting for Infowars.com. I'm joined in-house now via Skype with Kiara Robles. Now, she was at the protest, that infamous video. She was pepper sprayed in the face. Welcome to the Infowars, Kiara. Let our audience know, for those of us who haven't seen it, what happened to you?
Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, the other night was just absolutely insane, and the media coverage of it was such garbage. Like, for the people who have or haven't seen the video, basically what happens is I'm talking to some reporter, you know, wearing a "Make Bitcoin Great Again" hat, and this guy is trying to like egg me on. He's trying to say, well, why are you here? What do you want to see here? It's like, well, I'm just another gay Trump supporter, like trying to see another gay Trump supporter. You know what? We're all there to see Milo speak, and I just mean, like, dear God, like right as he was starting to just really get to me, I just told him, you know what, like, I'm done. Like, some of the people here are protesting peacefully, but the majority of them, look. And then right as I'm giving, you know, my little spiel to the people who are here doing it peacefully, they come up from underneath. A woman actually comes up from underneath and just pepper sprays me in the face, which actually was not even the beginning of the evening. That was just the tip of it.
Nothing happened to her, right, Kiara? She was never charged. Nobody ever said anything to her.
Absolutely not. No, they just kept on keeping on.
Did you get her information at all? Did anybody photograph it or anything that you know of?
No, the whole night I was with my 5 friends. As far as I could tell, maybe there were 20 Trump supporters, and there was over 150 of these black masked, you know, I wouldn't even call them kids because some of them were actually like older people.
Did they look like they were part of the protest movement at all, or did they seem to be bussed in and paid?
Well, that's one of the things is like, okay, how do you know? Like, everyone there was protesting. I mean, technically I was protesting, but I don't, it's impossible to know if they're paid just by looking at them.
Right. I guess my question is, so when we cover protests, and sometimes I've noticed this myself, you seem to have a select group of people that are dressed in a certain way. They seem more organized. They seem more...
Like, I woke up that morning, you know, like, just trying to go to an event. They woke up that morning with their pepper spray, with their outfit, their black outfit, all put it together, laid out on their bed. Like, they had a march plan. I was so actually naive to how prepared that they would be. I mean, they were flashing lights in our faces, like the ones traditionally that police might use to see if you're drunk or something like that. So, and yeah, the light thing was actually what started the next part of the disagreement between me and these protesters or rioters or whatever, however you want to label them. You know, it's like this woman is flashing a light in my face, which wasn't really caught on camera quite as well. And I asked her, you know, like, okay, like, you know, get out of my face. I had just gotten pepper sprayed or whatever. And before I even had time to react, I just hear people screaming. I look over, my friend's getting, it wasn't pepper spray. It looked like it was bear mace because it was like this yellow kind of color, and it was targeted all towards their eyes. The next thing you know, it's in my eyes. I'm watching my friends fall to the floor. One of my friends gets beat, like, with these flagpoles that they're protesting, you know, peacefully with. And I mean, I was lucky that I was able to jump the fence and get out of there in time, but it was very, very difficult to watch people, you know, that are your people, like, on the floor and not be able to help them. I mean, we all wanted to defend ourselves, but they make it impossible for you to do that. Like, they come prepared.
Right. You said that there was only one arrest that you noticed. Why do you think that was? That is so infuriating. You've got these cowards in masks literally beating people, maybe to death, and one arrest out of the whole thing. That's
right. My friend was in the hospital for broken ribs, and, you know, someone else was actually, like, potentially did not make it through that evening. So why do I think that is? I mean, people have been talking about the mayor possibly coming out. The whole city, Trump talks about drain the swamp. It's like all of California is a swamp as far as I'm concerned. Every person there was condoning it. I mean, they weren't exactly helping people who were getting hurt. You know, they're all watching it. It just goes so far up in California. The corruption just goes so far up. The mayor told the police to stand down. Doesn't mean the police have to stand down. They're like right behind the wall, just watching all of this go down when they were totally capable of doing something, and they chose not to.
You mentioned that you were part of Gays for Trump, a gay supporter of Trump's. Can you help me out here, Kiara? You know, that we see people on the left, they're like, Trump hates gays, Trump hates women, Trump hates blacks.
Well,
you name it, Trump hates it. Break up these lies for me.
That's right. Well, I mean, anyone who thinks that is just, they have a very low resolution view of the world, right? Like, they hear these things on MSNBC News or they hear it on CNN, and they don't even take the time to Google it. It's like, if you really, really think that everyone, like half the country is a Nazi, like really like that, I just can't believe that. It actually, like, it makes me just so confused. I don't understand how anyone could think that, really. Mm-hmm. But apparently, you know, like, I am part of the Gays for Trump organization. There's a ton of gay conservatives out there. They've always been out there. This is nothing new. The media just always wants to use identity politics, and that's why Milo was so successful at tapping into this confusion in society. Is like, they don't understand him because he's a gay conservative, and it goes against their fundamental narrative. So, and you know, it's satisfying for us to watch, but dear God, I mean, if that's what it takes to get people's attention these days for identity politics, is to break it down, is like, it actually has to degrade into violence. People actually have to get pepper sprayed and beat and end up in the hospital. It's like, how much worse does it have to get before you realize it's like, there are plenty of people on the right that, you know, one of my friends was Afghani. You know, my other friend who was there was gay. I was there when an elderly, like, you know, older gentleman, like a gay Asian man, like with his dog. It was a diverse group of people on the Trump side, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. And these people, it's just all chanting. They're all the same. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, honestly.
Right. I mean, I have to ask this on a side note, and not even a part of this interview. You know, I was telling you off camera, Darren McBreen and I were talking. We're like, we want to find this, you know what, to make him a meme, because who hits a girl, who pepper sprays a girl? Turns out it was a woman. Nothing happens to these people. You said that they seem very organized, very, you know, systematic in their approach. You talked about bear spray. What's it going to take? I mean, we're at the point in this country where we are on the brink of a civil war. They're messing with 55, 56 million people that are gun owners that want to protect their property, their houses, their children.
Right.
I mean, do you see, they want this, that from
Absolutely.
watching your tape, they want this military coup.
They're out there with their signs saying that this is a civil war, and then they're beating people up with their flag saying this is a civil war, and everyone on the left just condones it. It's like in California, literally everyone thinks, oh, well, you know, most of them were peaceful. I was saying that as I got pepper sprayed, and that wasn't even the worst of it. I have no idea how much worse it's going to get. I really don't want to find out, but that's why I go to these things and, you know, to the best of my abilities, try and say, like, please to God, like, can this just stop? Can this just stop? Can we actually have an intellectual debate on a college campus? Apparently not.
Mm-hmm. The tolerant left, Kiara, the tolerant, right. Love Trump's hate. You know, covering these protests myself, I've only done a few of them this past year. That you see the most violent, aggressive people talking about love. The irony of that is just,
people had shields with hearts spray painted on them. And it's funny when you see it in a photo, but when you see it in real life, you're like, what is going on? Like, what are you trying to convey to me that you put a shield? And it's so difficult to understand. It really, really is. Like, from my perspective, it seems like a lot of these people are very, very angry people, and they're just looking to attach to a movement that will allow them to justify their violence, right? And so that's why I'm mostly upset about, you know, people in the middle. People in the middle who aren't coming out and saying, oh, well, this was a terrible thing. Because in any scenario, if this had been a Trump supporter beating it, if it had just happened on one case, you know, like, can you
imagine if Trump supporters were beating members of the left violently with flagpoles and spraying them?
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know, for the most part, the people that I've met that supported Trump at these rallies, they're peaceful, they're respectful, they're typically educated, they care, they're hardworking members of society. They come from every race, color, creed, sexual orientation, background, you name it. They just happen to care about this country. They're sick of seeing it go down the tubes, frankly. But the narrative is such bull. We're running out of time. We got less than a minute. For our audience who might not have, you know, you talked about those people in the middle, reach out to them, Kiara, because sometimes, you know, at some point they're going to have to stand up and pick a side. For this to be over, in my opinion.
Right.
You know?
Even my family, I feel the same way. It's like, oh, there are violent people on both sides. It's like, no, I'm not gonna be the person that says that kind of thing anymore. Like, yes, that is true to some extent, but we're talking about not whether or not there's a Nazi that exists in the world. We're talking about to the degree that which the left is violent. Who is more violent? This is a matter of degree now. It's like they're out there beating up gay Trump supporters. Like, who are the fascists?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seriously. I love it. Kiara Robles, Gays for Trump, Women Who Rock. Thank you so much for joining the InfoWars, sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. For more reports like this, be sure to check out our website, Infowars.com. I'm Margaret Howell reporting.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. If you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.